Hi, welcome back to The Scent Advocate. Tonight I want to talk about fragrances that are skin scents, but in a different context. So these are skin scents that are really exciting to wear and exciting to smell on other people. Very sensual, very provocative. This is actually my second attempt at making this video. I made a whole video, and for those of you who've been watching, you know I really don't edit them, going in and clipping here and clipping there, that sort of thing. And I was so uncomfortable in the first video that I just couldn't do it. I couldn't post it, right? It was too much. This is my second try. So let's get into it. The first fragrance I'll talk about is Sel Marin by James Heeley. This fragrance is an EDP. It is 100 ml. The cost, according to my research, is $195, and it is a 2008 release. This fragrance has salt, lemon, seaweed, bergamot, and vetiver. But for me, this fragrance is all about the ocean and salt and a tart lemon mixed with sweat, but not bad sweat. Nothing unpleasant at all. This is, if you could imagine, a really gorgeous, hot summer evening on a beach, not evening, night, on a beach, on a date, feeling really just excited to be with someone, and you go for a swim, and then, who knows from there. This is what I imagine when I smell this fragrance. I want to smell like this everywhere. And I can't imagine anyone not wanting the person they're with to smell like anything else everywhere. Some people comment on this fragrance having a seaweed note. To me, the seaweed note is very, very oceanic. There is nothing negative whatsoever about it. I think it just adds that realistic oceanic accord to the fragrance, and it doesn't do anything except make it more palatable, more visceral. Very, very exciting stuff, at least for me and a few other people I know who've smelled it. They get a lot out of it. They really enjoy this, and it's a very realistic human fragrance, something that just comes out of your pores at just the right time in just the right way, and it meshes with your own body chemistry really beautifully. I've never smelled this on anyone where it wasn't fantastic and human, realistic, gorgeous. Sel Marin by James Heeley. I would love to hear your comments on this one if you've smelled it. And how it smells on paper is very, very different from how it's going to smell on the skin. Just know that this is one of those fragrances that you really get a unique experience with it on the skin. The next fragrance is Acqua di Scandala by Parfums d'Empire or d'Empire. This is an EDP. It's 50 ml. It's a 2018 release, and I believe the cost right now is $130. The notes are algae, juniper, moss, and immortelle. Again, the algae in this, much like the seaweed note in Sel Marin, I am not getting any negative aspect of algae at all. It doesn't smell like algae pills you may have taken, the vitamin kind or the supplement kind. Nothing like that. Nothing that reminds anyone whatsoever of sushi like that. It's not that sort of thing at all. This is a very salty, green, slightly piney fragrance. So that juniper really comes out. I think there's a little bit of a heaviness, a darkness, and earthiness that comes from the moss, which is beautiful. It really offsets the algae nicely. The Immortelle takes what might otherwise might be really wet and turns it into a balanced kind of texture, I guess, for the fragrance. There is a tremendous amount of salt in this for me too, but really well balanced. This is probably more masculine leaning if I had to say masculine versus feminine, but it's truly unisex. So this is a green, heavier, earthier fragrance, but very natural smelling at the same time. This is something that, again, blends really beautifully with natural body chemistries. I can't imagine this smelling badly on anyone. Now, that doesn't mean you will absolutely love it. Under no circumstances am I suggesting anyone should do blind buys. I never do, and I'm not doing it now. But I think this is really exciting. Smelling this on my husband, would just drive me nuts. Not as much as smelling this, but it would it would be really great. This is beautiful, beautiful. Acqua di Scandala by Parfums d'Empire. Next, we have Thomas Kosmala's number 7, La Sel de la Terre, and this is an EDP. It is a 2018 release. The cost is about $235, and this is 100 ml. Now, the notes in this are water, bergamot, sea notes, wood, lemon, musk, and flowers. Now, this one is a little more floral because of the flower notes. And those are non-specific, by the way, at least in the write-ups, the descriptions I tested, or checked, I should say. This has a great citrus, but it smells a little more floral and less realistic than or less direct than the citruses in these two. So especially for Sel Marin, imagine you peeled a lemon and you had like the lemon rind and you bent it backwards so that the yellow part was folding in on itself. If you've ever done that, you could see that what happens is this beautiful burst of oils kind of spray out and make the air very fragrant and completely naturally lemon smelling. It's really beautiful. That's the kind of lemon I get in Sel Marin and in Acqua di Scandala. The Thomas Kosmala, there's a lemon, but it's a floral lemon. It's not a citric kind of acidic lemon. It doesn't smell as natural. But the bergamot is really beautifully done. It mixes well with the lemon. It's not overpowering. I think the geranium sets it off. I'm saying geranium. I don't know for sure that it's geranium. It smells a little bit like geranium to me. It's got, it's vague, right? With the sea notes and water notes. But it smells a little bit soapy, I guess. This would be what you'd smell like coming fresh out of a shower. Figure on a hot day, about 10 minutes after the shower, 20 minutes after the shower. On a cool day, probably within an hour after the shower. Again, this is going to blend beautifully with your natural skin and not smell overdone. And it's a very sexy, natural fragrance. It's unisex, probably straight unisex. I think it's no more feminine than masculine. Check out number 7, La Sel de la Terre by Thomas Kosmala. I'm looking at my notes, I'm cheating on this one. Next is Acqua Nobile by Nobile 1942. This fragrance is an EDP. It's 75 ml. It's 2008 release, and I believe the price right now is about $150 for this bottle. The notes in here are citrus, cardamom, orange blossom, myrrh, sandalwood, labdanum, tonka bean, leather, patchouli, and there's some florals as well. This strikes me as a more serious fragrance. The formality of it, the structure of it is more rigid. And I think that's because it's got the labdanum and myrrh. It just, that natural citrus and the sweat and the salt is made more rigid and less informal by the myrrh, I think. I don't really get any leather. The labdanum is really beautiful in here. The patchouli, I'm not really getting. The orange blossom and that floral sets it off and makes it lean feminine. Of course, it is unisex. Watery, a little bit of salt. The cardamom also gives it a bit of formality and warmth. But I think this is another one that just blends incredibly well with natural skin chemistries, and it just enhances the moment. It's intimate. It's something you smell on another person and you want to smell more. You just want more. Acqua Nobile. Moving on to Peau de Peche by Keiko Mecheri. This fragrance is, get a tester here, an EDP. It is 100 ml, and I believe it costs about $165. It is a 2000 release. This bottle, it just leaked all over my hand before when I was spraying it. I don't know why. I think it was me, not the bottle, but it just kind of went everywhere, all over my hands. And so you see a little bit of a shadow there. It's still a little bit of a wet spot. The notes in this fragrance are white peach, orris, sandalwood, and amber. This one is really special, very, very interesting. It is so beautiful. It's a really young, hard, unsweet peach. It's a little bit of a green peach. And it's got a salty note in there. But this is really youthful, very alive, very energetic. And again, one of those fragrances you just want, you want to smell like this everywhere, and you want it to last forever. The fragrance, I think, leans feminine. It feels womanly. It feels feminine. It's anyone can wear anything, as you know, but this just leans in that direction. It's very sexy. It's very alluring. It makes you feel attractive when you wear it. it makes you feel like you are attracting people. And I think people want to know where that smell is emanating from, and so they do get a little closer. And if that's okay, that's a good thing, right? I don't get a lot of amber in here. I guess I could see it, but it's one of those instances where if I didn't know that amber was an intended note, I probably wouldn't pick up on it. It's clear there's a wood in there, just to give it some structure. It's not just a straight fruit. The tartness of the young, hard peach is offset by the powdery texture of the orris. I think this is an absolute stunner. Have you tried Peau de Peche? Let me know. Next, we have Karst by Aesop. This, I don't know when it was released, but this is an EDP. It's a 50 ml and it costs about $200. Sorry about this light. It just keeps going out on me. This is juniper, cumin, and sandalwood. Now, don't let the cumin scare you. It is a very tame cumin. It's not like an odorous type cumin. This takes the juniper, it takes the sandalwood, and gives it a sexiness without being offensive, as cumin can sometimes be. This is lovely. I think this leans a little masculine. So who would wear something like this? I think, if you could imagine like a lumberjack coming back after a long day's work, chopping down coniferous trees and having perspired quite a bit, but not in a bad way. And it just, that kind of resinous, piney juniper smell meshes with the perspiration and just smells really great. It's that. Gorgeous stuff. What do you think of Karst? And do you know when it was released? Last is probably the most in your face among the sexy fragrances. And this is one that I think is not for a first date. This is for when you know someone a while and you want to shake things up a bit. You want to, be more risk-taking. You want to push the envelope a little bit. And of course, it has to be a Francesca Bianchi unspoken musk. Oh, how I love this house. This is an amazing perfumer. Francesca Bianchi is incredible, and this fragrance is no exception. This is a 30 ml. It's an extrait. It's a 2022 release, and it goes for about $180. The notes in here are citrus, castoreum, civet, cypriol, immortelle, iris, musk, magnolia, patchouli, sandalwood, vanilla, and tonka bean, right? So very complex, lots going on. And this is a classic Francesca Bianchi, in my opinion, as I perceive her and her fragrances. This is an animalic that is extremely sexy. And I know that sounds weird, but the whole idea behind these animalic, musky-like fragrances is to make you think of, the musk is supposed to make you think of, being close to someone physically. And it's a like a pheromone type emulator, I think. That's the intention. Anyway, it's that animalic, musky accord, and it is softened by iris. So animalic and all the, punch that can hold, and the incredible, powerful sexiness that it can have, tempered by a very soft, beautiful, loving, tender, sweet orris or iris, but in this case it's orris. Or is it iris? It's iris, sorry. And the florals are there. I get some jasmine in this, as I usually get in her sexier fragrances, but that's not among the listed notes, so obviously I'm wrong. And the resinous, heavy, almost viscous feel of the animalics and the musk are offset by the dry texture of the immortelle. So it's very, very balanced, but it is a fragrance that smells sexy, really sexy, like you mean business if you're wearing this. And the vanilla, the tonka bean really round it out and make it more of a fragrance that isn't meant to smell like your natural skin. It's meant to be an enhancer. It's meant to take the notes of human sexual energy and put them in a fragrance form and make them more dramatic. This is the dramatic expression of all of that. And I think she's just an incredible artist. And this is beautiful stuff. Have you tried Unspoken Musk by Francesca Bianchi? What do you think of it? What do you think of all of these? Gosh, I feel so much better about this video because the last one I was just, I was so nervous because, you know, the subject matter, and I don't know, I hope I did better in this one. So if you like content about niche fragrances, indie fragrances, a little bit of, once in a while I do a little bit of designer, but mostly niche and indie, and you like talking about fragrances or hearing about fragrances that really aren't the same things everybody else is talking about at the moment, then you will probably love the content on this channel. Please consider subscribing. I would love it. And I would really love it if you'd leave me some comments. What do you think of these choices? Which ones did I leave out? I meant for these to be not the mainstream choices. I have some really, really good similar fragrances in my collection. Similar in that they also kind of are that really human, amazing, sexy, you know, salty, sweaty, gorgeous thing. But I had to limit the video to, you know, about 20-25 minutes. So I can only talk about these, but which ones did I leave out? Leave me a comment, and if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. See you in the next one. Bye.